used to be in a pub group called the Dream Academy. That all fell apart in a haze of drink and drugs at the end of the 80s. A new album's called Mona Lisa Overdrive, and I spent 10 years making it in this room.
Room. 10 years in this room. In this room, 10 years. 10 years. In this room. I don't know, I mean, this whole room became the record. I'd wake up in the morning and I'd hear the sound of the cars on the wet street, and it would be like strings of violins. I'd hear the distant rumble of the train, and it would be like cellos. I'd been spending time up in the Himalayan monastery, and I'd been recording the sounds up there. I put it in my sampler and turning them into songs. Got a lot of the outside world, the noise that most people try and shut out when they're making a record, keeping it in. And started to make the pieces, these soundscapes on my sampler, and then write these lyrics, these sort of poems, and then put the poems on top of the soundscapes, and suddenly I'd got a new sound. Why Trashmonk? Why Trashmonk? Look around, I mean, there isn't a lot of trash around here, because it was a work of art that was distorted. I was talking to this Tibetan monk, and he said, "What, you mean like Trashmonk?" Because the monk is in the trash, and the trash is in the monk. The album starts with a song called Girl I Used to Know, and it actually starts with the sound of the tannoy at Moscow airport going ding dong. And it's the sound of people going onto the plane. At the end of the middle eight, you've got the sound of this guy saying
the mind, speech and body
from the Tibetan Buddhist lectures. Then the solo is the sound of the tree frogs from the Northwest Frontier District. My ex-girlfriend saying, "You don't have to perform," slowed down so slow that it's going. And then at the end of that song, you get this, which is the sound of Jack, this guy who was trying to teach me Tibetan lute. Yeah, a lot of vocals were done in here. It's classic, you know, you think you should do the vocals in the bathroom. They're not bad, because it's tiled. Polygamy! The polygamy is the kind of root of the unhappiness of the whole situation. Like, you know, of the album. What led to the coming to terms with the polygamous situation and going, you can't go on with this. All the acts is coming up in this one spot right now, where it distorted the thing. I had to keep it in. I could never stop it again. This is the guitar that was on the cover of Brightly Later, and it's and I think it was actually Eric Clapton's guitar, and he'd left it in the Pheasantry in 1966. I played it on a track called Sapphire. Thinking about it, I sat on this very chair with this very microphone, got up one morning, came in, pressed play and record, and sang and played this song. See the world right he asked us to come in the studio and sing backing vocals on Dandy in the Underworld. Dandy in the Underworld, Dandy. And we'd say, no, I said, oh, that was terribly out of tune, I'm really sorry. Tuning is not the thing. He didn't care about that. It's the energy. It's the energy. He was really experimenting and just trying to, like, give it everything you've got. Come on, slow down that tape, he'd say. And we'd all sing this real... And then when it came out, it was... Dandy in the Underworld. I had quite good gear, but very limited gear. And basically because we didn't know what we were doing. Because we'd frequently make these terrible mistakes and really over-distort things. You were always making mistakes and plugging stuff in and then finding out you'd got it, you'd overloaded it, changed the sound, but then discovering that the bit you'd overloaded was the best bit, so you'd keep it in and say, fuck it. And I think that was the great thing. It was sort of self-empowering. I mean, the great thing about not working with any professionals there, as engineers, is that nobody tells you you can't do it. In the end, you can always say, well, I'm fucking doing it because I like it. And even one time, the engineer was, 1, 2, 3, 4, he shouted from the other room as I set my flies, and just, I've got a great urine sample on the record. This is really the sound of Trashmonk. This is an electric mallet, this is the guitar. Worked with Brian Wilson, and that was pretty extraordinary because it was quite hard to get him focused for a long time, and he was playing Roll Out the Barrel for about 2 hours, and he said, oh, well, how do you think you should go? And I sort of went, I walk the line every day for you. And he went, that's genius, I gotta tell Dr. Landy, you gotta work on the whole album. Someone described the record as the sound of claustrophobia, and I think it is pretty claustrophobic sounding. I was just staying in my room, racking them up like paintings, and decided never to play them to a record. I'd just to work songs. And then a friend of mine said, you've got to get out of your room. Now you've got all this stuff. I mean, it's like a warehouse. You packed all these songs in there. You don't know. You've got so many you can't ever play them to anybody. You don't know where you are. I sat in this room with Alan McGee, played him the new record, and he said, "What are you going to call yourself?" I said, "Nick Laird Clowes, and I want to call the album Trashmonk Phenomena." And he said, "Oh, forget Phenomena. You are Trashmonk." And then I played him the music, and he went, "This is the sound of Trashmonk." He's making it up. I have absolutely no doubt whatsoever that you could write an American #1. If that was what you had any interest in doing, why would you have any interest in that? John Lennon, Jesus Christ, John Pasolini, Carl Gustav Jung, Pasolini, Doris Lessing, Bob Dylan, Rumi, Andrea Astronees, Gary Conor Brown, Donald Campbell, Carl Gustav Jung, I hate blind. The end.